On the towering peaks, where clouds cover all year round, a family of wild geese begins a magical story. The parents of geese came here to build a home for their young children's future. The mother and father geese carefully chose a safe cliff where enemies could not easily approach. Dry branches and feathers are skillfully stacked on top of each other, creating a warm nest. After a long wait, tiny eggs appeared in the nest. Each egg is a ray of hope, a continuation of life in the harsh, wild world. The mother goose stays in the nest, protecting her eggs from the cold of high altitude. The father goose patiently flies in search of food, while guarding against any threats. Baby geese are born one day. Soft sounds rang out from the eggshell. Baby geese with soft down feathers are born, starting a new and challenging journey. Life the first week. During the first week, the baby geese are carefully cared for by their parents. They learn to walk and jump in the small space of the nest, getting acquainted with the world around them. Start the journey. The parent geese decided it was time to leave the nest. The mountaintop, a seemingly safe place, cannot be home forever. The group of geese prepares to embark on a dangerous journey to the ground. Cave entrance and abyss. Parent geese lead their chicks to the cave entrance. In front of them is an abyss hundreds of meters deep. Each step you jump down will determine your survival. The first challenges. The goslings began to jump down. Soft feathers help cushion the impact, but there's no guarantee that all will land safely. Danger from above. Ferocious crows circled around, waiting to snatch away the weak goslings. The parent geese must be alert every second. Face the wild wolf at the foot of the mountain. The wolves hid in the shade of the trees, their cold eyes watching. They wait for the opportunity to attack at any time. After the little goslings threw themselves from a cliff hundreds of meters high, midway they collided with the cliff, landing on the ground full of jagged rocks. It was dangerous and they rolled a few times, then lay motionless. A moment later, miraculously, he staggered and cried softly as if calling for his mother. He was bewildered for a while, not leaving his children. Their parents were ready to follow every step their children began to jump from above. Their parents always followed their young children, but could not. How can I help my children because each species is different? Just like that, one by one they rushed out at a height that even humans like us could not do. The little geese kept rushing and crashed into that cliff, then rolled around many times. They are as small as soft cotton balls, bouncing up and down so wonderfully, touching the ground in bewilderment and then staggering around again in bewilderment to see if their parents are following closely. It's so dangerous. I know it's too dangerous, but because it's a wild species, and the safety from birth to maintain the life cycle of the next generation, forcing their parents to reach heights of hundreds of meters, humans had never set foot there. Before careful calculation, their parents had surveyed the only safe height for their cubs. And then a dangerous adventure began. But when the cubs were born, their parents have no other choice but to let them. Your child is an extremely risky challenge. Face the wild wolf at the foot of the mountain. The wolves hid in the shade of the trees, their cold eyes watching. They wait for the opportunity to attack at any time. Ferocious crows circled around, waiting to snatch away the weak goslings. The parent geese must be alert every second. After overcoming the cliff, the geese continued their journey through slippery, rocky slopes. The cubs had to try their best to stick close to their parents. And then the arduous journey was over, losing 1 to 2 cubs who were stolen by crows, and the geese slowly headed towards the river. Next, we invite you to admire the journey to find mineral salt sources, for which the wildlife of this mountain goat species is not enough, forcing them to seek out high, remote, dangerous cliffs and dangerous steep dams. Taking risks to find the source of peace is difficult and arduous. So what makes them take risks that can take their lives? Here we invite you to watch this adventure. Discover the pinnacle. From the plains to the high peaks and vertical walls of the dam, the mountain goats began to travel up the steep dam walls in search of valuable nutrients. The reason they lack this valuable source of nutrients. In high mountain areas, nutritional sources such as mineral salts are quite rare, but the high mountain areas where they live are scarce, and the place where they live may be very dangerous from predators. Life in the wild is not easy. For all wild animals, especially for wild mountain goats, who forage on mountain slopes, sometimes the cliffs are steep and dangerous. Finding food is already difficult in terms of food sources, with added danger from predators such as snow leopards, wolves, and eagles, always close between life and death. The snow leopard is the #1 enemy of mountain goats, a skilled hunter. When it targets its prey and has a purpose, it is difficult for the prey to escape. Mountain goats are very talented at running and jumping from this cliff. Crossing the wall is different. It can be said to be a dramatic race. Mountain goats are so used to daily chases, they are very alert and cautious, but it is still difficult to escape the sharp teeth of the opponent. Although he was very cautious and highly alert, however, with a hunter who was too sharpshooting like a snow leopard, even though the goat had detected it from afar, he could not escape from the predator. At this point, he only knew rushed forward as fast as he could and ran zigzag trying to escape, but in the end he had to dive into the water and luckily escaped this time. There are goats that have escaped the snow leopard's claws, but sometimes they trip and fall because they stumble on loose rocks. It's a pity for the unlucky goats. Wolves are also very ferocious. They target newly born young prey will be easier to chase and catch. The young also provide wolves with their favorite food, an attractive menu. Before our eyes, this is an admirable scene. A herd of mountain goats has swept down the wall of a 70-80 meter high water-blocking dam. The dam wall is vertical, not making it difficult for the goats. It must be said that they are circus performers. Excellent mountain climbers. Compared to the goats climbing on the other cliffs, they are quite similar. But the dam walls are made of more solid and sturdy cement, while climbing and rowing on the cliffs of rocky mountains. It's easy to slip because landslides and rocks are easy to fall and dangerous. In the bodies of goats, there is probably a lack of mineral salts, so they find this substance on the cement floor, so they take risks to achieve their desires and compensate and supplement their energy. We are admiring the scene of a black bear mother and her child. The mother is moving to find new food sources, leaving her young child alone, struggling to find a way to follow her, the will of nature. Give them very strong. Then next were the goats who were busy searching for food. Unfortunately, they slipped and fell and took a terrible dive. The goat was unlucky while looking for food, or he was chased by a snow leopard and fell from a high cliff. Even the manatee, because it climbed too high, could not stand up and tumbled into the abyss. We are watching 2 white goats foraging on a very dangerous steep cliff. However, for the goats, it is the daily search of the goat herd. It is truly admirable about the story surrounding it. Theme of the strength of the wild geese, not afraid of danger. Danger has left the nest from above. Next is to admire the mountain climbers who, without fear of danger, ventured to climb hanging cliffs to find their own source of energy and emerge from the midst of life and death to survive in the natural world. It is truly respectful and admirable about the lives of animals who are making a living day and night. Rhino VSN channel once again would like to sincerely thank all the viewers who have supported the channel, and hereby also, please don't forget to like and share for the channel more motivation. Many useful videos sent to you. Hello and see you again.